This is Good Morning Kansas.
Well, thank you for joining us. We are tracking breaking news right now. We know at least 6 law enforcement officers were shot Friday night. We're learning that one of them is dead after the shootings in 3 different cities across the U.S. I want you to take a look at where all these shootings have occurred. One of them taking place in Pennsylvania, then 2 separate shootings in Florida, and that's where one officer was killed and others are recovering. This is a look at the massive crime scene of that deadly shooting in Central Florida. 2 Kissimmee officers were shot. One was killed, another is in grave condition this morning. The officers were responding to drug activity. The officers did not have a chance to return fire, according to the police chief. He did say that in regards to everything and the response to this scene, it's a very tough job. It comes with its risks, and his team is working hard on handling everything today and trying to move forward with the investigation. They have a lot of different parts of the case that they are working on right now. We are standing by with a live media briefing with the police department. We're expecting to hear from that police chief today and other leaders. We're hoping to get more details, and we'll bring them to you during the newscast as soon as they become available. We know that officers, dozens of them, those first responders, were lining up this morning, in fact, in a procession to honor the officer Matthew Baxter, who was killed. His body was being transported. He was a 3-year veteran of the police department. The other officer, Sergeant Sam Howard, a 10-year veteran of the department as well. And this morning, President Trump sending his thoughts online. He says, quote, "My thoughts and prayers are with the Kissimmee Police Department and their loved ones. We are with you. Hashtag LESM." And also the other officer-involved shootings that we're tracking for you this morning. That second one from northern Florida. Now, Jacksonville police officers responding to a call about a suicide after 11 last night. And when they arrived, they heard gunfire from the house. Then there was a shootout with the officers and the suspect. The officers were reportedly hit. One of them in the hands, or a couple of them were in the hands, and the other one in the stomach. The suspect was shot and killed by deputies. Now up north, where troopers were shot in Pennsylvania, just south of the Pittsburgh area last night. Details as of this morning still a little unclear, but a witness tells our news partner up in the area that they heard gunshots in a parking lot of a convenience store. Police say the suspect in this case is dead and that troopers are in stable condition as of this morning. They are expected to survive. Certainly, we have a lot we're tracking for you this morning. You can be the first to learn about breaking news by heading over to our website over at KAKE.com. You can also get updates on our Facebook fan page as well as on Twitter. We again are hoping to get to that live media briefing in just a bit, but until then, certainly a lot of people probably anxious for the forecast for the morning before they head out for the day. Tanner, what can you tell us for today?
Pretty quiet forecast, pretty typical August forecast. It's going to be hot, humid, lots of sunshine, very slight chance of an isolated storm. Great day to head to the lake.
Sounds good.
The winds are going to be pretty light. It is a nice start to our weekend. Take a look outside using the Central Kansas Care Cake Cam. We had a few clouds around this morning. In fact, while you slept overnight, a couple of isolated thunderstorms were popping up in south central Kansas. Maybe a select few in Butler County around El Dorado. Maybe got woke up to a couple rumbles of thunder, but that's been about it. It's been a pretty quiet morning across most of Cakeland, and in fact, most of the clouds have started to clear out this morning, sitting at a temperature of 74 degrees. So we've upped it a couple degrees in the last hour with a calm wind out there. The dew point of 70. That's how much moisture is in the air. The dew point, when you see it in the 70s, it's a very tropical feel. You'll notice some humidity when you step out the door this morning. A little drier air, a little cooler air out in western Kansas, where we're waking up to temperatures in the mid 60s. Then you warm up into the upper 60s and lower 70s. In fact, mid 70s here in south central Kansas. Here is a look at our day planner for Wichita, and it looks very nice. If you like some summer-like weather, today's going to be perfect. Lots of sunshine today, all the way up to 90 degrees by the noon hour. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. So if you're headed to the lake for a couple last weekends here of summer, the wind will not be an issue. High today up to 96 degrees. We will see a slight chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm late in the afternoon, but they will be kind of heat of the day, pop-up thunderstorms. Most of us will be dry. Rain chances running at about 20% at best. A little better chances for showers and storms later on tonight for some folks across Cakeland. We'll give you all the details of the forecast coming up.
Okay, Tanner, we're now getting word of that media briefing with police on that officer-involved shooting, the deadly shooting from Central Florida. We have that media conference going on right now. Let's tap into that to hear the latest on that investigation, now live.
At this point, we're trying not to speculate. We're still searching video and attempting to locate witnesses. We have some additional witnesses identified that we're in the process of trying to contact now so that we can make sure that we have as complete a description of what happened as we possibly can. Yes, ma'am. It doesn't appear at this time. That was a thought earlier this evening based on the information we had. We thought originally contacted three subjects, and the suspect came afterwards. It appears now we have information now that Mr. Miller was one of the original suspects contacted.
Can you elaborate on the scuffle that took place?
I can't at this time, no.
Can you elaborate where exactly the shooting happened, what location?
It was right near the intersection of Palmway and Cypress.
Do you have more information regarding the suspect if he has a criminal record?
I don't have that. We didn't get it at this time. I think it is minimal. I'm aware of he was a Marine veteran, and I know he was recently Baker acted by the Osceola County Sheriff's Office, but I don't have the information or details on that. Yes, sir.
Jason Hackett with WPTV out of West Palm Beach. Any updates on Sergeant Howard? Has his condition gotten any better and worse?
No, sir. It's still the same, grave, and not much hope that he will survive this.
Chief,
Yes, sir.
now that you have an arrest made, are you guys now having an opportunity to mourn and the loss of one of your fellow officers?
We will, over the coming days, tried to, speak to as many of the officers last night that were still at the station, not actively pursuing the investigation, but kind of decompressing. We did a short critical incident debrief, kind of gave them some things to look for. Mostly told as many that I could that we will get through this. It will not defeat us, and that I loved them for what they do.
Ian Margot with Local 10 out of Miami. You said last night they were initially responding to a suspicious person's call. Can you give any more details about that, about what the initial call was and sort of what happened?
I think this is an area of focus for our patrol officers, and Officer Baxter was just in the area as part of our ongoing presence.
Chief, have you seen the memorial outside for the officers, and do you have anything to say back to the community that's been coming out a lot this morning?
I haven't gone out there to inspect it, but from my office I was able to. Yes, I appreciate we have had so much support from across the nation. One of our local imams is in the United Kingdom right now and sent me a message. We sincerely appreciate our community, and this is not a reflection of the city of Kissimmee community. We've got, an individual here that, committed the heinous crime, but this is certainly not a reflection of the wonderful people that we have in our community. Yes, ma'am.
Chief, what can you tell us about these officers? We have 3 and your death.
They're two wonderful men, family men. They are two that are committed to doing it the right way. Obviously, they were in an area known for drug sales, so they were taking enforcement action, being proactive. But they're both very committed to the community. They've been part of a number of our community initiatives. I had a recent tweet highlighting Officer Baxter and kind of making some Children's Day, making a difference, giving them Slurpee coupons. So they were the epitome of what you ask for in law enforcement officers. Yes, ma'am?
Were they partners?
No, ma'am, they were not. Sergeant Howard is the supervisor, and Officer Baxter is a member of his squad.
So they weren't riding together?
No, ma'am.
The 2 guns you located, one was the murder weapon?
We have to investigate that.
Can you say how many shots were fired and how many times they were shot or where they were hit?
Not at this time, I'm sorry.
Were they able to fire back?
It doesn't appear so, no. Yes, ma'am?
This is on State Action News. Can you talk a little bit about how bad this Friday was across the nation for law?
And that was a media briefing with Police Chief Jeff Odell of the Kissimmee Police Department. We know that one officer had died in a shooting last night, one in extremely critical condition this morning. He says that that officer is not likely to survive this case, but we will continue to keep you posted on that officer's condition. We know that those 2 officers were responding to a call to examine things in a drug-related incident last night. Again, 2 of them shot, 1 of them killed in Central Florida, not too far from Orlando. A suspect was identified via video out at that scene They have since arrested that suspect. We're trying to find out if more suspects are at large in regards to this case, but that was a part of a media briefing brought to you live from down in Central Florida in regard to that officer-involved shooting, one of 3 officer-involved shooting taking place last night into this morning, where 6 officers were hurt, including 1 being killed down in Central Florida, another one taking place in a part of northern Florida, and another in Pennsylvania. Again, all developing stories that we will keep you posted on right here on Cake.